Simon Ekpa's strong legacy for Biafra remains unshakable despite opposition from enemies. Some strong supporters of the Biafra movement have emphasized that advocating for Biafra's independence is not a call for war, but a legitimate demand for self-determination. The Nigerian government is accused of implementing discriminatory policies that suppress economic growth in Biafra land, forcing Igbo businesses to relocate to Lagos and Abuja. Biafrans are said to receive no benefits from the Nigerian government, as essential infrastructure like schools, roads and electricity are primarily built through community efforts. High import tariffs and restrictions on using eastern seaports allegedly force traders to clear goods in Lagos, increasing costs and economic hardship for Biafrans. They also claim that past leaders deliberately relocated economic power from the east to other parts of Nigeria to weaken Biafra's economic strength. The Nigerian government is accused of violently suppressing peaceful pro-Biafra protests, including killings of unarmed demonstrators. Eastern politicians are blamed for enabling the suffering of their people by aligning with the Nigerian government instead of advocating for Biafra's development. They argues that no country has gained independence through peaceful means alone and insists that self-defense is necessary. They condemn calls for passive resistance, arguing that Biafrans must fight for their freedom rather than accept oppression. Biafrans are urged to remain focused on their struggle, reject misleading narratives, and continue resisting Nigerian policies that allegedly undermine their freedom. There are moments in history when individuals rise, not because they sought greatness, but because circumstances forced them to become something larger than themselves. Simon Ekpa is one of those people. Whether you admire him or strongly disagree with him, one thing is clear. His name is now firmly etched into the modern-day struggle for Biafra. People have debated his methods, questioned his motives, and even outright condemned his approach. But through it all, his influence has remained unshaken. If you ask his supporters, they will tell you with unwavering certainty, Simon Ekpa's legacy is untouchable. But why? What is it about Simon Ekpa that has made him such a central figure in a cause that has lasted for generations? To truly understand this, we need to take a step back. We need to go beyond the headlines, beyond the politics, and into the heart of why the Biafra struggle exists in the first place. Because this is more than just a political movement. It is a fight for survival, justice, and the right of a people to decide their own future. The story of Biafra's fight for independence did not begin with Simon Ekpa, and it did not begin with Nnamdi Kanu either. To truly grasp its depth, one must go back to the painful history of Nigeria, a history in which the Igbo people, who make up the majority of the Biafra region, have felt marginalized, ignored, and treated as outsiders in their own land. It is easy for outsiders to misunderstand why Biafrans want independence. Some assume it is just another political movement seeking power. Others think it is a call for war. But for the Igbo people, it is a fight for dignity. It is about being allowed to thrive without fear, without oppression, and without constantly being reminded that they are second-class citizens in a country they helped build. For decades, Igbo businesses have faced systemic obstacles. They have had to struggle harder to succeed, moving to economic hubs like Lagos and Abuja, because the Nigerian government has deliberately left the southeastern region underdeveloped. There are major seaports in the southeast, ones in Port Harcourt, Warri and Calabar, that should be booming with economic activity, but instead they remain neglected. Business owners are forced to clear their goods in Lagos, paying exorbitant fees and additional transportation costs, making it even harder for them to compete. And it does not end there. Infrastructure across Biafra land has been abandoned. Roads are left in terrible conditions. Hospitals lack funding. Schools are barely functional. What is even more frustrating is that most of the development in the southeast is not done by the government, but by the communities themselves. People come together, use their own money, and build what the government refuses to provide. And yet taxes are still collected. They are still expected to contribute to One Nigeria, even when Nigeria continues to fail them. Imagine paying into a system that never gives back. Imagine watching your people suffer while the government turns a blind eye. Imagine being told that you belong, yet every policy seems to be working against you. That is why the Biafra movement exists. It is not just about separating from Nigeria, it is about escaping a cycle of oppression that has lasted for generations. Now, in the middle of this struggle, Simon Ekpa has emerged as one of the most vocal and controversial figures. Some call him a revolutionary leader, while others see him as a troublemaker. But whether people agree with him or not, he has undeniably become a powerful force in the fight for Biafra. Simon Ekpa, a Finnish-Nigerian lawyer and activist, stepped into the leadership role of the Biafra movement after Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. From the moment he took over, his approach was clear. He would not be silent, he would not compromise, and he would not ask for permission to demand what he believes is rightfully Biafra's. His strategy has been direct and at times aggressive. He is not one to wait for negotiations or for political favors. In his mind, self-determination is not something that can be begged for. It must be taken. This approach has made him a major target. The Nigerian government sees him as a dangerous figure, an enemy of the state. Even within the Biafra movement, there are those who think he is too extreme, too confrontational. But his supporters see things differently. To them, Simon Ekpa is the only one bold enough to confront the oppression that others fear to challenge. Speaking out for Biafra has always been dangerous. Over the years, we have seen countless peaceful protesters silenced in the most brutal ways. Young men carrying nothing but flags have been met with bullets. Entire villages have been raided. People have been arrested simply for believing in Biafra. And the question remains, why is self-determination treated as a crime? All over the world, nations have fought for independence. Some achieved it through war, others through negotiations. But the right to determine one's future is supposed to be a fundamental right. So why is it different for Biafrans? Why is it that every time they demand freedom, they are labeled as criminals? The Nigerian government insists that Biafra is a closed chapter. To them, the issue was settled in the Civil War of 1967 to 1970. But anyone who lives in the southeast knows that this is far from true. The discrimination has not stopped. The economic sabotage continues. The killings persist. If Biafra was truly a closed chapter, then why do the injustices remain? One of the most painful betrayals in this struggle has not just come from the Nigerian government, but from within. The Eastern politicians who have chosen their own personal gains over the welfare of their people. Instead of using their positions to fight for the development of Biafra land, they align themselves with the very system that has kept their people oppressed. They sit in government offices making deals, watching as their own communities suffer, and yet doing nothing to stop it. And when the people rise up to demand change, they turn their backs. Or worse, they help suppress them. This is one of the reasons why Simon Ekpa is so outspoken. He does not only blame the Nigerian government. He calls out the politicians from the southeast who have failed their people. To him, the fight for Biafra is not just about breaking away from Nigeria, it is about breaking free from the betrayal of leaders who have abandoned their own. One of the most controversial topics surrounding Simon Ekpa is the issue of self-defense. Some believe that the fight for Biafra should remain peaceful at all costs. They argue that violence will only bring more destruction. But others, including Simon Ekpa, argue that no people in history have ever gained freedom by waiting patiently. Simon Ekpa believes that Biafrans must be ready to defend themselves. He has repeatedly pointed out that when innocent Biafrans are killed, the world remains silent. When security forces raid villages and take lives, there are no headlines. But the moment Biafrans fight back, they are immediately labeled as violent extremists. It is this double standard that fuels his stance on self-defense. Of course, this has brought him heavy criticism. Many accuse him of promoting violence. Others insist that he is simply being realistic. After all, when a people are pushed to the wall, they will eventually push back. The media has played a significant role in shaping how the Biafra movement is perceived. When peaceful protesters are murdered, it is barely reported. But when Biafrans resist, they are immediately branded as the aggressors. This is why social media has become so important for the movement. It is one of the few places where the truth can be told without being filtered by government-controlled narratives. Despite everything, the Biafra movement continues to grow. Simon Ekpa's leadership has reignited the fire, and more people are waking up to the reality of their oppression. But the biggest question remains: what will it take for Biafra to become a reality? Some believe that negotiations can still work. Others argue that Nigeria will never willingly let Biafra go. One thing is certain: change has never come easily. Throughout history, those in power have never willingly given up their control. For now, the struggle continues. The voices grow louder. The people remain resilient. And if there is one thing that is certain, it is this: Simon Ekpa's legacy, whether one agrees with him or not, is far from being erased. The fight for Biafra is alive, and no amount of opposition can make it disappear. Simon Ekpa has indeed emerged as a powerful, controversial figure in the Biafran struggle. His leadership, especially after Nnamdi Kanu's arrest, has amplified the movement for Biafra. But it also comes with divisive opinions. Ekpa's approach, often bold and aggressive, reflects the urgency he sees in the fight for self-determination and dignity for the Igbo people. His unapologetic stance against both the Nigerian government and what he perceives as betrayals from Igbo politicians resonates deeply with many who feel left behind by the system. The complex history of Biafra, shaped by the economic, political, and social marginalization of the Southeast, provides a backdrop for Ekpa's leadership. For many, Biafra represents not just a political separation, but a chance to escape decades of systemic neglect, underdevelopment, and oppression. Ekpa's call for self-defense and his belief that peaceful protests alone won't bring change echo the frustration of those who have seen their communities suffer without adequate response or support. However, his advocacy for violence and self-defense, while seen by some as a necessary response to injustice, has drawn sharp criticism. It's a tough balance. Many argue that violence only deepens the divide, while others, like Ekpa, see it as an inevitable consequence of the government's refusal to negotiate or acknowledge the ongoing struggles of Biafrans. In any case, whether through his tactics or the wider movement's determination, Simon Ekpa's place in the history of Biafra is secured. His leadership, controversial as it may be, taps into a deeper well of historical injustice and calls for change that many feel is long overdue. The legacy of Simon Ekpa will undoubtedly continue to evolve as the struggle for Biafra progresses. His influence has reignited the passion of many Biafrans, particularly those who feel the movement has been sidelined or diluted by politicians or international forces. What makes Ekpa's leadership so significant is his unapologetic demand for action. He isn't waiting for approval or for conditions to align. In his view, the struggle for self-determination can no longer be delayed or softened. His directness, paired with the urgency of the Biafran cause, strikes a chord with many who feel that the only way forward is through forceful change. The way Ekpa approaches self-defense, though contentious, is rooted in a deep sense of frustration with the international community's silence on the atrocities faced by Biafrans. In his eyes, the world has turned a blind eye to the systematic oppression, and the moment the oppressed begin to resist, they are branded as criminals. For years, peaceful protesters have been silenced with violence, and communities have been devastated with little to no consequence for the perpetrators. It's this reality that shapes Ekpa's view that the Biafran people must be prepared to protect themselves, no matter the cost. But as much as Ekpa's approach resonates with some, there is a stark divide within the movement itself. Many still hope for a peaceful resolution, with negotiations and diplomacy as the preferred path to independence. They argue that history has shown that peaceful struggles, when pursued with unwavering commitment, can lead to change. But as time passes and frustration builds, it becomes harder to maintain the belief that dialogue alone will yield the desired results. The question of whether Biafra will ever achieve its independence remains an open one. The Nigerian government has repeatedly declared the matter closed, and while the international community has expressed concern over the human rights violations in the region, there's little indication that any substantive changes are on the horizon. Meanwhile, the people of Biafra continue to suffer, and the movement continues to gain traction. In every protest, every cry for justice, and every new voice that joins the cause, the Biafran struggle shows no sign of fading. Simon Ekpa's legacy, controversial as it is one that highlights the unrelenting quest for dignity and justice. The Biafran people, regardless of how they perceive his methods, recognize the fire he has sparked. Whether that fire will eventually lead to independence, or whether it will be extinguished by the forces arrayed against it, is still uncertain.
That anybody can make a mistake. So when any of our brother or sister make a mistake, I think he better refrain from it. And I think that is what's supposed to be always be done. So, and to say it that the government of this Deputy Prime Minister heading have never overlooked any of our men on the ground, except the ones that say, I will not want to work with her. And if somebody doesn't want to work with you, you cannot force yourself to that person. This is government. And when government make a decision, we have to abide by it. If there is any mistake the government made, there is channel to go about it. We cannot wash our this thing outside if there is any mistake at all. There is a correction that the government will listen and they take the way that their correction and go ahead about it. That is how government work. Government doesn't work that when you come out and say it to the public that is the government is doing evil or government is doing bad, then before government will listen to it. It doesn't always work like that. So I pray to my brothers and sisters, always contact the government to do corrections if there is anyone they feel they're supposed to, or if government make any law or put anything that they think is not normal, they should contact the government direct and say and give their reasons and say, I think it's not good like this, I think it's good like this. Then the government will give them reason why they make this or why they make that, or why this or why that. That is how government is working. That is how we can build ourselves and be strong in what we are doing. Because when I see some of those people who call themselves who were with us, but now they think they form a parallel government, started using it as a kind of advantage, which will not even nobody will even listen to them, because I can tell you that 95% of what is in this new dimension government now, 95% will say, instead of me to follow these people, I will sit down until Simon Ekpa is out. And that is my own stand. Instead of me to go outside this government, I will better just pack my seat and sit down until Simon Ekpa or Nnamdi is out. If it is not this government that is Dr. Ngozi otherwise is representing. So that is my own message on that side. Thank you for that. Then we'll come to what we are discussing this morning concerning the peace of graveyard or peace in the graveyard as a topic. You know, starting from the one, every Biafran man love peace. Since I was born, I never see where a Biafran hate peace, starting from my root. But the only thing the Biafran man hates mostly in his life is somebody to subdue him, subject him to nobody. You know, where they will tell you it's a kind of, we need your money but we don't need the idea. That makes you a fool. We need your money but we don't need what you contribution. That will show that you are nobody. So now, after all what we have been going through as a tribe, as a country, Biafra is a country on its own before it was married to Nigeria, the so-called Nigeria. So that is one thing a Biafran have benefited from Nigerian government. As a child born in Biafra land, I know that my parents paid my kindergarten to the level before I left anything called the education level. There was no single assistance from any federal or state. When I think about primary school, it was a community effort, contributed money and built. When I think about secondary school, it was a community effort. When I think about university, community effort. When we think about electricity, community effort. When we think about road, community effort. So tell me what the Biafrans have benefited from Nigeria as a people, as a country they united to, that made them to be one Nigeria. Nothing. The only thing we benefited is killing, humiliation, suppression, and intimidation. That is what Biafrans have benefited from Nigeria. Since I was born, that is what I have experienced. I've never experienced anything free. So tell me what makes me to be a Nigerian? Nothing. When you come to Nigeria today, if you want electricity, you use your money. When you build house, you use your money to go and buy electric pole. You use your money and buy electric cable. Then you go and pay the NEPA people, the people that call the NEPA this thing. They will come and connect the light in your house and you pay them. Remember, you build house, you paid money for building your house. Now you need electricity, you go and buy electric pole on your own. You go and buy cable on your own too for you to connect the wire in your house. And you pay the NEPA people that will come and connect it. And you pay the money for you to get what they call it. So the only thing that the federal government do is to come to your house and they collect electric bill, collect electric money. You will stay 1 year without you seeing anything like electricity, light in your house. But you must still do what? Pay for those years that you do not see one single time electric. As long as you connect your house to that electricity cable, you will pay. And you are in Nigeria. All these things are what the Igbo people are going through. They force you to pay. They will force you to pay. And you will pay for not having light. That is another way of stealing from you. So the only thing we suffer in Nigeria is you pay for something that you did not use. Then you import goods from here. They will force you to clear it in Lagos. When you have seaport in Port Harcourt, you have seaport in Calabar, you have seaport in Warri, you have seaport in Igbo land that are not in function. Okay, those ones that are in Warri and the River and the Calabar, it's only a policy that government will make that those seaport will be functioning normal. If you bring goods in Lagos, if it is 1 million naira you used to clear it, you will pay 1 million naira as a duty. If you bring it in Port Harcourt, you pay 1 million naira. If you bring it in Warri, you pay 1 million naira. But they will not do like that. They make it that if you bring container to Lagos, you will pay 1 million. If you bring it in Port Harcourt, you pay 10 million. And you did not buy, these are the goods you buy in the same company, the same price. You make the shipment the same price, but when you get to they tell you when you get to East, you will pay 10 million to clear it. But when you get to Lagos, you pay 1 million. Forcing everybody indirectly. A very hard policy that will force every person to move to Lagos.
Yes.
When market in 1980s, when market in 1980s were on function, every business, that was when they call the market the biggest market in Africa. Every African people, this place we live in Germany, when you meet a Ghana person, he will tell you he came from, he was living in Onitsha or this thing. When you meet the Congo people, he will tell you he was coming. When you meet Cameroon man, he will tell you he was coming to Aba and Onitsha for business in those 80s. So what did they do? When Babangida was in power, he visited Onitsha and he saw Onitsha. Everywhere was 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. Onitsha just changed. You know, somebody was in your program one time, or somebody was saying that it was Obasanjo. It was not Obasanjo. The person that changed the policy was Babangida. When Babangida visited Onitsha, and by when he was in power in 80s, he came to Onitsha and he said 1, 2, 3, 4. He said it is not possible that this is because he fought Nigerian Biafra war.
Yeah.
Then what did he do? He went to Lagos and changed that policy. So he moved Lagos, he moved the capital from Abuja, from Lagos to Abuja, and he used the seaport to compensate the Lagos people and force every Eastern man. I came from a family that does business, so they know everything about business. So most of our families moved down to Lagos because when you live in Onitsha and your goods have been coming in through Warri or Rivers, Port Harcourt, and they force you now that you have your goods have to come to Lagos. So majority of them have house in Onitsha. They went to Lagos and hire apartments.
Yes. They
were having house in Lagos at the same time renting apartment in Lagos. They were having house in Onitsha and Aba at the same time renting apartment in Lagos, so that when their goods come back, they will not be going to the hotel to sleep. They will live in that apartment until when they finish the clearing of their business, their business clearing of their containers, before they can move to go back to their family home in Onitsha and Aba. So that is how they started, relocating to from that 80s. Because before every man that we are living in Lagos cannot compare himself to a businessman that is now in Onitsha.
Absolutely.
Or any part of the East.
Yeah.
So it was this policy that they use it and frustrate our people. In 80s, in my local government, there is every town in my local government, as at then, there is nowhere you come and you not see about 3 or 4 industries. I'm just telling you the fact. About 3 or 4 industries. Many in every time, not talking about local government, I was in my local government, I said in every local government, in that local government, in every town, there is no town you will come and you will not see about 3 or 4 industries. If this person is not making soap, the other one is making aluminium, the other one is making plastic, the other one is making this, the other one is doing this. Some people, so that was how it was in that time. And people who were in the secondary school at that time, many of them have jobs. Some people trained themselves from that one they were making from those jobs. When they will close this, they will go and work in the factory. When they will, on the weekends, they will go and work. From the moment they're making there, some of them were paying for their school fees. So we are training themselves in secondary schools that time. I'm just telling you the fact. So all those frustrations, they use it and frustrate the Igbo people. And now you move to Lagos and started building Lagos. You moved to Abuja, you moved to Kaduna, you moved to every part of Nigeria as once Nigeria forced you to. And you go there, you started doing well again. You started doing those things you were doing in the East, that they were envying you and forced you to come to their place and start doing it. And you went there, you started doing the same thing again. Now they turn against you again and tell you that this is Lagos. You cannot come here and expand. They started seizing your lands and your properties and destroying your businesses. The same thing they do in Lagos, they do in Abuja, they do in any part of Nigeria and any part of Nigeria. And now the Igbo say, no, we must go back to our own country. We have a country before Nigeria. And it surprised me that Wazika started it and they pulled him down. And the people that pulled him down, we are proud that they pulled him down. And then they kind of picked up. The same Igbo people ganged against him. And they proud of pulling him down. Now Simon Ekpa come up. They started saying that Nnamdi was not violent. What is violence in the first place? Can somebody tell me what violence means? Nnamdi come and he was preaching. When he was preaching about what the injustice against his people, Nigerian government did not call him and try to turn those things to say, okay, come to the discussion table, let us see how we can do it. Let us do it as the way you are saying, since your people feel oppressed. And if your people feel oppressed, that is the truth. They did not call him. What did they do? They come with violence and started killing people. If people carry flag and come on the street, you will massacre them without gun. If people come on the school praying, you go there and massacre them and kill them. And today, the so-called Igbo elites are sitting down. That's why it pains me when somebody will say, you're supposed to write them a letter and tell them what you are doing.
Nonsense.
You're supposed to write them a letter and tell them that Biafra is coming. What kind of letter will you write to the people that know how their people how they started killing their people? Your people carry map. In this Europe we live, people protest every day. People go to the train station and they will say this train will not pass. And the train will not pass. Until police will come there and they talk to them, manage them, do by force, carry water, do everything, not killing them. And start talking to them until they will use diplomacy and remove those protesters. You cannot hear that they kill anybody. And your people are being killed. Some of them, when they are in the airport, when they come to, if you want to know the average Nigerian man, if he is reasonable or not, if he is traveling out of Nigeria, meet him at the Nigerian airport. Immediately he enter into the Nigerian airport, you will see him behave himself. He will not misbehave. Yeah. He will enter plane and come to any part of the world where he is going. He will do his business, abide according to the law. When he enter plane from that place he travel to and jump down to Lagos, and he coming out from the embassy, maybe he comes out from the plane, he turn a tiger. He told you that we own this country, can do anything. That is how they handled the people who were protesting for their freedom. They started killing them. And then Ramadan was going all over the world, begging, talking, doing everything that this stop killing my people in this way. It cannot work. None of those so-called Igbo man, none of those what do you call him? In one of Imo State. none of those Rogers, none of those Mba, none of those the Ebony man that is now Minister for Works, none of them called Buhari or Obasanjo at that time and say, why are you killing people who are only carrying flag and protesting? Why not go to the table and discuss with them? Peter Obi, who was the governor of Anambra State, knowing fully well that Anambra doesn't have airport, a center of business in Africa, not even in Nigeria, doesn't have airport, doesn't have seaport, and Peter Obi is parading himself as the best economist in the whole world. He did not fight to say my people must have airport, or to say my people must have seaport. As the best economist who has lived more than 10 years in London, know what seaport and airport is for a country like Biafra land. He did not fight for us. Peter did not use his office and say, stop killing my people who are carrying flag. Instead, he was the first people to give Nigerian license to kill them and throw them in the river. And today he is telling you one Nigeria, why not do this like that, why not do this? So he find out that there are all evil people. From Peter Obi to a lot of them are holding blood on their hands. They think holding blood is only when you take gun and kill somebody and yourself. No. They all with bloods of those people. What does corruption do? The corruption causes this problem that kidnapping is happening today. The corruption of the government of Nigeria and the government of the Igbo people cause the kidnapping, cause the raping, cause the prostitution. All these things are caused by the government of Nigeria and the evil politicians in the East. They are the people who lead our people to go into the kidnapping. Now, what is happening? When a Fulani man commit a crime, nothing happens to him. When the Igbo man go and steal a common charger, phone charger, they will tie him like a goat, and some they will bury alive, and they will kill them. The Soludo have never asked those video that was made, this of recent video, that they tie an Igbo man like a goat, and they will keep him on the ground when they were talking about the people that the security raised to fight the IPOB and what do you call it, and the Eastern Security Networks. Those IPOB that he say he condemned as IPOB without showing the crime that man commit. But they tied him like a goat and they were carrying him and say, we found Eastern Security Network. You go and carry outside the Kubo, employ a foreigner to come to your community to kill your people, to fight Eastern Security Network, and you are calling yourself a governor. You're calling yourself somebody who is representing your people to kill them and bring them without going to court and you waste their blood. Their blood is on the head of Rogers and what do you call it, Soludo. So all these things they are doing is evil, and the Biafra has come to stop it. So that is what I am here to tell them. So whether they like it or not, I will always ask, what makes them think that at this point in time that Biafra cannot be discussed? So any person that is telling them or who is deceiving them that they will quench a Biafra as they have formed another security now to work with the army to kill the Igbos who they think that they are IPOB or Eastern Security Network or Biafra Liberation Army. Those people, they are lying to themselves. Whether you kill them or whether they kill you, Biafra must be discussed. So the earlier they know it, the better the it's for them and Nigerian government. Thank you, my brothers. Let me give space for other people to talk.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that wonderful speech. You have touched so many sensitive areas, and everything you have said is in line with what we are discussing. The United States of Biafra cannot accept the peace of the graveyard. We cannot accept the peace of the graveyard. Self-defense is non-negotiable. That devil's alternative that they have given us, if you fight, you will die. If you don't fight, you will die. It is better we fight and die fighting. When you see some people who come to their platform and begin to tell you of how peaceful Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are, trying to differentiate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Mazi Simon Ekpa is a crime against humanity. That is a criminal act. Anybody you see in his platform trying to demonize Mazi Simon Ekpa, demonize the government of Biafra under Dr. Ngozi Orebweze, and try to say, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a peaceful man, he said, that person is committing crime against humanity. He's an evil person. He has no message. These people are not followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are not following our freedom and they are not pursuing it. Our eyes should be on the rising sun. Every single one of us know what we are facing. We know the atrocities the Nigerian government is committing against us. It is not just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not just about Mazi Simon, not just about Dr. Ngozi Orebweze. It is about you that is watching me and myself. It is about our life. When they preach that their nonsense message, don't listen to it. Don't share it. Don't attack them. Leave them and walk away. They don't mean well for you. I have played a video where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it by himself. I do not believe in any peaceful actualization of freedom. And there has never been any country in this planet Earth that got their freedom through peaceful means. It has never happened. If you know of anyone, write it on the comment section. It has never. There's no country in this world. And anytime you hear freedom, you hear people fight for their freedom. You don't hear that people beg for their freedom. You can never hear anywhere they say they dash people freedom. They say people fight for their freedom. That is what you always see. If you're not ready to fight, go to sleep. Walk away. Don't be a hindrance. Don't be an obstacle. Don't talk down on those who are doing the right thing. Self-defense is not a crime. That is why international community supports it. International law supports it. Chukwu Okike Abiama supports self-defense. You defend yourself. Chukwu Okike Abiama planted that inside every human being. Everything he created, including animal, they defend themselves. Including animal that Chukwu Okike Abiama created, he puts defensive mechanism inside them. They defend themselves. Once you attack them, they defend. Even ordinary plant that has life, they defend themselves. How much more a human being created in the image of Chukwu Okike Abiama? And somebody will come and tell you, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he is not doing this. Why is the Biafran Liberation Army doing this? Why is the United States of Biafra government doing this? Why is Mazi Nnamdi doing this? Mad people everywhere. Deceivers. Today they will come as an angel of light. Oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a nice guy. But these same people, they were there when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was preaching. And they say, catch him, let us kill him. The same people that are praising him, they were the people that even contributed money. They contributed money to go and kidnap him. Today, when you see them in their platform and in their media, oh, he's a sensible man. He was fighting for these people. He was wrong sense. Absolutely. Don't be confused with those nonsense. Focus on your freedom. Your eyes on the rising sun, and our freedom will come. My brother Okafo, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. We are almost rounding up. Go ahead and speak to us, my brother Okafo. Let's hear you.
Thank you, my brother Chooks. Well done job. I pray that God will continue to strengthen you.
You see?
Well done job. You are trying. You are trying. Onye ọlụ nwere ụgwọ ada na mba ije elugo na njedebe.
You see?
Daalụ.
Thank you.
Biafrans are group everybody in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Onye kele n'igwe na ana. Onye mee ka tata wee dị. Onye mee ka dị ndụ na ana nke ndị dị ndụ.
See?
Ask oche na mbiri na ọja mabụrụ nke ya n'ebe kachasị enu.
You see?
Anyị na-ekene Chineke n'isi onye ndu anyị bụ Maazị Nnamdi Okwu Kanu. Onye Chineke ji ndụ ya. Onye Chineke rapụtara ka ọ bụrụ ya bụ ego edu anyị. Anyị si ebe ọ bụla ọ nọ na ka amara Chineke na-eru n'isi ya.
You see?
Ka aka Chineke dịgide n'arụ ya.
You see?
eche na ndị ile niile chele ka ọ na-achụkwulu ndị ile azụ ha na ezinụlọ ha n'otu n'otu ihe ọbụla bụ ihe ọjọọ nkata ọbụla agba n'isi ya enweghị nke ga-abịa na mmezu anyị gwede ihe ọbụla nke na-egbu egbu ọ ga-eri ya ọ ga-aṅụ ya ọ ga-edu ya arụ ọ ga-eme ya ọ dị na-arụ ọdọsị ya ọ na-arụ isi ike maka na ọ dịghị ihe nwoke ọ nwaanyị mere n'isi ya nke ga-abịa na mmezu Chukwuoke abịa na-ekwugwu etu a ka ọ ga-adị and otu aka ka anyị na-egbawa n'isi onye Chineke rọpụtalụ wee nye anyị bụ ọgbata obi ya ofu onye karịrị mmadụ 50 ofu onye na-eme ihe mmadụ 50 na nwere ike ime asị ka aka Chineke jidesie enyi ike ka Chineke bibie ike ndị iro niile na-arụ ya uzube ndị iro niile ka ha rabụ ndị na-akpa nkata ma ọ bụ mba ma ọ bụ obodo ma ọ bụ kọntrị ka ha rabụ ndị na-agba nzube a niile asị nka ka Chineke mechuo iru ka ihe lebulu nke ha ka ọgbata obi nwere mmeri n'ebe ọbụla ha ga-abụ ya onye mmeri ka ọ ga-abụ n'Eke onye mmeri ka ọ ga-abụ n'Oye onye mmeri ka ọ ga-abụ n'Afọ onye mmeri ka ọ ga-abụ na Nkwọ ahịa naanị izu na-anọ Chineke ga-anọgheri ya ajụ onye ajụjụ ọ na-amara ka o esi wee saa ndị mmụọ ozi Chineke ga-ewere ọnọdụ saa ajụjụ ahụ ebe ọ bụ na ọ gara a sị na Chineke ga-ewere ọnọdụ n'ime ndụ ya ihe niile Chineke kwu na ọ ga-eji wee mee n'isi Biafra ha ncha ga-abịa na mmezu ọ dịghị nwoke ọ dịghị nwaanyị ga-egbochi ya otu a ka ọ ga-adị n'aha Chukwuoke Abiama ana m ekene Biafrans ndị kwugide n'eziokwu. Please don't be offended. Today I want us to go to our mother tongue. Eji m ohere a na-ekene ndị na-ekwugide n'eziokwu maka na akwụkwọ nsọ sị naanị eziokwu abụ ihe ga-eme ka anyị nwere onwe anyị. Naanị akwụkwọ eziokwu a ga-eme ka anyị pụọ n'oru. And onye ọbụla na-egbe Chineke ga-egbele n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu. So and onye ọbụla nọ n'eziokwu mmeri bụ nke ya. So a sị na mmeri bụ nke anyị. Maka na anyị kwuru eziokwu. Ana m ekele Chineke n'isi ada anyị nwaanyị a, oke ada, agụ nwaanyị, nwaanyị na-emesi ife ike, nwaanyị na-adịrị akụja, nwaanyị na-adịrị ene ndị ile anya, nwaanyị amaala dat na ịnọ n'ime dị ike karịa ịnọ n'ime ndị na-agba ya mgba. The doctor, the DPM, Ngozi Arabeze. Nna anyị na-ewere gị aka elu na-aga n'iru, anyị kwụgị n'azụ. Akụjakwara akụja mesibi ife ike na onye nwere Chineke nwere ihe niile. You are not alone. Ọ bụghị sọsọ gị nwakwu Chineke kwụnyere gị, and Chineke kwụnyere mmeri bụ nke ya. Gaba n'ihu. Rapụ ndị na-apụ ala. Ọ ka mma na o si etu a wee mee ka anyị mara ndị bụ ndị. Ka anyị mara ndị bụ ndị. Etu o si wee mee ma gburu onwe ya. A sị ka dị Chineke. Onye na-agba ndị iro ọtọ. And ana m egbebe egbele na-asị ọ bụ na o nwekwara ndị ọzọ, ndị iru abụọ, ndị obi ọjọọ, ndị sabo ka nọ n'ime the gọọmenti, Chukwu Okike Abiama gba ha ọtọ.
Ise.
Mepecha ha maka na ọ dịghị ihe ọbụla rụrụ alụ nke ga-aba na Biafra. Biafra ba na nsọ. So nwanne jisi ike na-alụ ọlụ gị. Na-alụ ọlụ gị nwanne. Ị na-alụsi ọlụ gị ike. Chineke ga-agbago ume. Anyị anabagwo. Mgbe anyị na-ayọ ndị a gbakwanụ na round table meeting ka anyị kpaa ihe agba. Let me digest a little. I just flash back those years. We were begging them. Nigeria have expired. Can we negotiate? We have been
network. I think my brother Okafor has a network issue, or maybe he had a call coming in. So whatever be the obstacles, Okafor, you will continue when you come back, and then we will allow you to continue your line of thought. Meanwhile, I can see my beloved brother Max. You're welcome, bro Max. Go ahead and speak to us, bro Max. You're welcome. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Mazi Chicks, and good morning to you. Good morning to my co-panelists, and good morning to the great sons and daughters of United States of Biafra in the comment section. And I would like to use this opportunity to adjourn you to like, share if possible, and comment so that this platform will go viral. As we all know, it is part of the United States of Biafra platform now, where informations and the activities of the United States of Biafra government are being made available for us to hear. May God bless our people in the homeland and in the diaspora as well. May God bless Mazen Namdekano, protect him from the eyes of the enemies, known and unknown. May God bless Simon Ekpa as well and protect him, as well. May the heart of the enemies be softened where our Prime Minister is. And those that are affected by the evil incantations of our people, may Chukwu fight for all of us and deliver us from their hands. Mazi Chicks, I was just looking at the headline. You see, nobody. The time when Mazi Namdekano, when told them that we are. I had a call that just came in now. I don't know if you can hear me. Am I coming out clear?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. You see, when Mazen Namdekano was begging for them to do the right thing in Biafra land, they called their bluff. They called him names. He started doing what he was doing. They called him online president. Online country, nuisance. There is no name that they did not call us that time. And when he came out, he told them that we have crossed the Rubicon. We crossed the Rubicon. There is no coming back. A point of no return. That is where we are. We are marching forward to reclaim that old mandate that was there before 1967 or thereabout, and it was declared and has been redeclared 29th November 224. They refused. Indila came to them and warned them. They refused to understand. Indila gave them expo. Look, let me tell you people. There comes a time in the life of every man, where guns, bombs, and bullets can no longer kill or solve that problem. Can you just imagine a situation where the king is out, down now, to come and say, please, my children, I am down. Let us talk. And they are throwing pebbles and casting stones at you. What will you do then? That is the situation we are now. We have crossed that stage. We don't need their peace. And I have to commend the Afanifere, Adebanjo, and the rest of them that are taking a stand on the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Look, if there are people that are going to cause the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, it is this Afenifere, Adebanjo, and the rest of them, and us, the United States of Biafra. These are the people that will cause or effect the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and God himself, not the Biafran politicians that are in bed with the enemies that are, want us, to be pied. See, so that is what we want. What we want is our total freedom, not that kind of food you will give to a dog, and right beside you is a stick that you are holding. No, we don't want that kind of, food. We don't want that kind of freedom. The freedom we want is the freedom that we are going to, express by ourselves. And we will have the opportunity they are professing or they are preferring. We are not far away from the Fulani Caliphate. We will not be far away from them all. But we want a total freedom that we will decide who comes in and who should not come in. And in line with the international norms and regulations. So that is how it is. So that is how I say it. And for our defense, Mazi Chiefs, when I was growing up in Biafra land, my stepfather had different kinds of weapons because he was also a senior officer of the Nigerian army. During the war, he came out and fought for Biafra as well. Very known man within the area. You see, within the Abad area there, he was a very known man. He had several means and weapons to defend himself, his family, and everything within his house. But these people came in and took it away from the people, from Biafran people, rendered us open, opened the gates for the terrorists to come in and begin to invade our land. What are we going to use to fight them? What are we going to use to defend ourselves? Cutlasses or sticks? Or call those people that are facilitating their movements and actions against the people? And when you call them, they don't even answer you. They will allow them to perpetuate their evil, their signature, blood, and sorrow before these people will even come. The land has been soaked in blood. We cannot allow that to happen anymore. What we need to do is that defensive mechanism that God has given to every human being he created. That is your first line of defense. You must be able to self-defend yourself before you begin to defend others. And that is paramount to this course. And we must fight towards that. It is our inalienable right to defend ourselves, our land, and to myself, my mother's ancestral land. Nobody is going to talk us out of that. We need it, and we must do it, and we must do it the way we want, irrespective of whatever that they are doing. No matter the counter forces that they are going to form against the Biafran Liberation Army, the United States of Biafra government and forces, it will not work. They tried before, they tried Ebubago. Mazi Chooks, you can bear me witness, Ebubago didn't work.
Yes.
What is Ebubago today? Ebubago is, I don't know where they are. It is only their elements that they are now recruiting into these other new ones that they are trying to bring up now. They will also fizzle out just like the rest of them. But we, as long as Chukwu Okike Abiama is on our side, whatever we set up, whatever the government of the United States of Biafra under the leadership of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is set up, will survive. Whatever you contribute to set up in order to secure the land of Biafra will stand the test of time and undergo reformations. I thank you for giving me this opportunity. I yield here.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother Max. I appreciate you for that wonderful speech. Each time you make a very great impact with your experience and knowledge that Chukwu Okama have given you. We appreciate you for sharing with us and encouraging Biafrans. Self-defense is our right. Everybody must always remember that. Do not allow anybody to talk you away from us. Self-defense have been given to you. It is a right given to you all the way from Chukwu Okike Abiama. International law also supports self-defense. African peoples and human rights law supports self-defense. Unfortunately, so many of us do not know that Nigerian law also supports self-defense. And we have had their Minister of Defense on several occasions asking the people to rise up and defend themselves. Do not wait for the military or police to come and protect you. We saw their former chief of army staff, Danjuma, speak boldly and told people, if you fold your hands, you will be gone. This information is on the public. But when Biafrans decide to activate this self-defense, they make you feel as if you are committing a crime. They give you different kinds of them to discourage you. Do not be discouraged. You are doing the right thing, defending and protecting yourself. The peace of the graveyard is not for us. My beloved brother, Apostle Stephen, go on and speak to us. Apostle Steve, if you are still there. Let's hear from you, Apostle Stephen.
Yeah, good morning from my end.
Good morning.
I thank God for everyone and the doggedness you have and all the Biafra media members. May God continue empowering you people.
Okay.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. But one thing is sure. No matter how they do it, the truth must prevail. There is no peace in the graveyard, as you said, because that kind of quiet peace it don't go. Like what our brother said. He said that concerning Nnamdi, when he started, they call him online president. People that even talking about it's not how Nnamdi was, it's not how Nnamdi was doing it. It's that PM started doing his own different. Those people are mumu. In fact, their head not the seculate at all.
Big
This is a just completely empty-head them. But anyway, I don't blame them because they are trying to talk everybody down, bring the empty emotional blackmail, which you cannot work in this moment. Because if you check, if they are being that they are reasoning, they're supposed to understand that what Nnamdi was doing is a theory pattern. It's a theory form of it. He was laying the foundation, telling the whole world, here, because this time is coming. Even in fact, even Nigeria, sometimes in Nigeria is a religious country, but they don't even believe in the prophecy. Prophet was shouting, it's not one, it's not two. He mentioned it when Igala was shouting. Yeah, you seeing this puppy. Very soon he's going to grow teeth, and when he grow teeth, he's going to bite everybody. So you will not subdue it, you will not stop it. It's better for you to do something that is right now. None of them even listen. Nobody listening. So As Nnamdi can finish the journey, by God was kind of in short, Biafra journey is a God journey, because before Nnamdi can take off, how many years did he reach even a year? He did not even reach a year. He met it the Nnamdi Kanu and the PM who was addicted one Nigerialist. We met he has grabbed the vision and grabbed the spirit possessing. He did not even reach 1 year. And the leader was captured, and it shows that God he has finished his own foundation. But our prayer is that he must be there to be celebrated in that land. Fully, he will be allowed to be celebrated. So, but immediately he dropped the button. The main person that have that heart of taking it came up, which is our PM, and everybody is saying that he come. It's not how Nnamdi Kanu was doing it. Didn't Nnamdi Kanu call you meeting how he will do it to fight the freedom? Freedom is step by step. As you choose not to listen to us, as you choose not to just even to reason, to have human heart. Okay, we must defend ourselves. So our the reader created ESN to even to secure our borders, to chase Fulani away. That is not the real matter now. It has come to the extent that we have to have army and police, navy, and the PM have created it. It is step by step. So anyone that talking rubbish, the person still dreaming, because it is a nation now. So he wanted to open him out. He said he think that he come to joke. If they give him, if you see money now to have fighter jet, warship, he will get it, because that is how it has become a nation. Yes. So I want to thank God for the generation we are into. And let me say this: so everyone that think that Soludo was creating all those things, let me tell you what he's trying to do. He's trying to use it and confuse Nigeria government too. He's trying to use it and confuse Nigeria government too. When he create it now, he's using it to run the election. I think they are doing the election this year, so you want to use it to run the election, and after they have finished the nonsense, those things will die off. But one thing is sure, that all of them that are accepted to be paid money, and you carry gun to begin to go to houses. This is where native doctor day. This is where kidnapper day. This is where all those nonsense. And we know na tricks when are using it to kill innocent Biafrans. You that carry the gun will be punished. Even if man did not catch you, God will catch you. So, but all those things, the plan of the election, he was planning. Now, like what you said, issue of the bag well are there. It refuses out as it has happened. I just want to say all the Biafrans, it is time. Anyone that want to kill you, kill that person. Defend yourself. Let nobody take no as an answer. We have already passed it, and I thank God and I pray for wisdom for all of you. Wisdom for our POS. The woman, I pray much about her is wisdom. May the Lord give her wisdom to be able to navigate whatever the enemy brings, because we are no more in that aspect where they are looking. You can see the social media is creeping now. I know they see Akpalawa and all of that. Everybody is knowing the truth. So we are off we go. We are on and no going back until Biafra is completely secured. And one thing I will say, anytime there will be call that the state of fundraising or state fundraising, please, I am so happy in that state fundraising, because that making the state is become buoyant. They will be able to secure each state, the 40 states. You can imagine what happens in Biafra land. You make it the 40 states can be able to secure and have their own security. I tell you that sweeping these people away is like easy as AB. I think I will hand the mic over. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have spoken well. I appreciate you for that very line of thought. I appreciate you. and for your prayer for wisdom for our Deputy Prime Minister. We all add our voice on that prayer and we say, may Chukwu Okike grant her more wisdom. And on also reminding us on the Saturday fundraising, it's going to be state fundraising. Saturday is state fundraising. So whichever state you are in, make sure you connect to your state. Whether you're living abroad or you are in Nigeria, make sure you connect to your state. For those of you that has my link or you have my number, if you don't know your state, reach out to me. I will link you to your state. If you don't know your state administrator, or you don't know your state contact, or you don't know your state group, reach out to me. I will link you to your own state so that you can be able to be making your donation through your state. Saturday is going to be state donation. You can help your state, donate through your state, and that will also help to secure our state.
Okay, please, sir. Please, I want you to help me to connect to Enugu.
Enugu State.
Yes, in Kano side. I don't know.
Do you have my number? You have my WhatsApp number?
No, sir. If you can give it to me, I will do it. I'll grab.
Okay, write down my WhatsApp number. You send me a message after the program. I will give you the contact to your state.
Okay. I am there.
447
plus 447.
Yeah. 864 397 169. Yeah, that's the number. WhatsApp. Just send me a message after the program. Will respond to you. Let me call the number again. For anybody that want to take the number down, let me call it again. Plus 447
yes
864
yes
397
yes
169.
Okay.
So anybody that don't know your state or you want to reach out to your state, just send me a message after the program. Send me a message on WhatsApp after the program. I will try to get you and link you up to your state. So Saturday is going to be state fundraising. Join your state, no matter how little, no matter how big. No amount is too small and no amount is too big. We must defend our territory. And when it comes to the issue of the men on the ground, that is their latest propaganda they are carrying up and down. They talk about men on the ground and let me tell you, the United States of Biafra is in support of the men on the ground, 100%. The United States of Biafra is in support of the men on the ground, and they are doing the work they're supposed to do. If you, on your own, decide to detach yourself from United States of Biafra and claim to be men on the ground, it is your personal business. It is your wish and your desire, and you are going to face the consequence. But as many as are obedient under the United States of Biafra, that is controlled by the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, if you are working under that very mandate, men on the ground, you have 100 support of the United States of Biafra, and all you need will be provided. We appreciate every work that the men on the ground are doing. We appreciate all their effort. We appreciate all their fight. And we are not, in any point in time, at war with them. No. The government of Biafra is not at war with them. Our responsibility is to provide what they need for this cause, to make sure that they have everything they need. Except they decide, or anybody decide to detach himself from the Liberation Army. If you detach yourself from there, it is your own problem, not the problem of the government. So whoever is pushing any propaganda, blackmail, or any talk anywhere, please stop doing that. Stop wasting your time. Because The primary objective of the United States of Biafra is to protect life and property of every Biafran. How are we going to do it? We are going to do it through the men that you and I are sponsoring every Saturday. Every government of the world, the primary objective of every government of the world is to protect life and property of its own people. And that is what the Biafran government is doing. Don't forget, tomorrow, there is a special program coming up tomorrow, 31st, on the ID card. If you have not applied for your ID card, or you apply for ID card and you're not getting your ID card, or you have a question to ask on that ID card, or you're having some challenge in the ID card, don't miss tomorrow's program. It is a Zoom program. The Zoom link is already out. Make sure you are in that program. Make sure you are in that program so that you can get the necessary information and ask questions regarding that very ID card. The USB /Brigi improved and pending ID card presentation. Improved and pending ID card presentation. It will be done tomorrow.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.